So a bunch of stuff happened this weekend. If you're on this video, you kind of already know. I plan to drop a whole different video today, but that's just gonna have to wait till tomorrow because we got a lot of not just rumors, actual leaks from Nintendo and the Pokemon Company. And now this isn't a Pokemon channel, of course. I've kind of fallen off of Pokemon a little bit, but I just wanted to share some of the information that we got from the leaks pertaining to the video games and how it relates to Nintendo's next, hardware with the Switch 2 and everything like that, because we got a lot of information. So if you are here for all that and you love this type of information, this type of content, do consider subscribing if you haven't already and leave a like on this video. So around Saturday night and then going into Sunday, we got a bunch of leaks. So I'll say leakers are kind of a necessary evil a little bit in the gaming industry. And now, while I don't condone the methods of how they get this information, because it involves, employees and finding out information on them, using their login, sensitive information, addresses, stuff like that start leaking out. But when it comes to what are the companies planning to do, yes, we like surprises sometimes, but sometimes we're kind of left in the dark for a long time. There's projects that we know about and we don't get any more information on them for a very long time. So it's good to kind of see what's going on with that, and then we can theorize where the companies are going to go with that. So we're going to go through just the highlights of what happens, again, mostly pertaining to the video games, not really the Pokemon and Nintendo like movies and anime and stuff like that. That's not really what we're here to talk about. So we'll go through each line one by one and then kind of talk about it. So right here we have Central Leaks, who's known to leak a lot of like Pokemon and Nintendo Switch information, and they kind of break it up. They have video games here, and then bottom they have TV and film. Again, we're not going to really go through that, but if you guys want like line by line items and all the details and screenshots and stuff like that, you can go to their page and kind of look at everything. So we'll start with the video games with Legends Z-A. So we did get the reveal of Pokemon Legends Z-A earlier this year, and a lot of people were really excited for it. We don't know exactly when it's going to come out. We do understand it should come out next year, but we got some more information on it, and a lot of people like the Pokemon Legends series, which started with Legends Arceus or Arceus, however you want to say it, last year, which took a different approach to Pokemon and the traditional how you traverse and everything and just going around catching Pokemon. It was more of that what we imagined Pokemon to be growing up, or where we wanted to see that evolution of Pokemon to be. So we did get more for information on Legends Z-A. So a few of the tidbits here we got was it was originally planned to release in 2024, so this year. And when you think about it, that kind of lines up with the fact that we heard that the Switch 2 got internally delayed to next year, and they probably were looking to do like a cross gen release of this game with Switch 2 and the original Switch. But then when Switch 2 got pushed back, they're like, okay, we'll move this back as well. It says it'll also feature Mega Zygarde and Mega Zorora. So that's interesting to see a Mega Evolution for Zygarde. As people know, normally there would be a third game in the, when Pokemon games come out, they normally do, red and blue, then yellow comes out, or ruby and sapphire and emerald comes out. X and Y came out, and Z, what you would assume would come out, never did. So this makes sense now. They're trying to make this game a Zygarde game, and that's probably what the Z in Legends Z-A stands for. And then it says it's in development for the current Switch. So that's what's interesting. So it probably won't have a Switch 2 version, but it will probably run better on the Switch 2, and they probably wanted to kind of coincide with that, but also not lose that player base that they have with the original Switch. Now, speaking of the second Switch, let's talk about this Pokemon Gaia, which is the code name. So this is Gen 10, right? And we know with Switch, with Pokemon Gen 9, when it came out in 2022, it didn't come out to the greatest of reviews, especially with how it was being, just not performing well as far as the graphics and the performance and everything. And people are really excited for this game because, Sword and Shield, a lot of people did like it, and it was the first technically home console Nintendo Pokemon game, but they figured, okay, Scarlet and Violet, they finally refined everything. They got the technology down. It was going to be great. And yes, of course it sold well, like it's Pokemon and people are having fun with the DLC and all that, but it just didn't perform as far as like the quality of the game. So now Gen 10 being announced to come out and rumored to be 2026 really lines up well, because you're thinking, okay, Legends Z-A will come out next year in 2025, and then the Switch 2 will come out. And then this also gives them more time, because 2026 will be 4 years since Scarlet and Violet came out. They got some time to polish the game, things like that. And it also lines up with the 30th anniversary of Pokemon. So the Pokemon came out in 1996 with Red and Blue, or technically Red and Green. And then we'll be able to have Gen 10, 10 generations of Pokemon, big celebration, big blowout and all that coming out. And if you're going to miss out on 100 and probably 50 something million people by that time to not have them on the Switch, I think I can't call it a mistake, but at the same time, I think they're going to try their hardest to try and get it to run on the Switch. Whether it runs really well or it runs like Mortal Kombat 1, we'll have to see, but they definitely don't want to miss out on that install base on the Switch. Plus the fact that you'll be able to have people that could trade between, Switch 1 and Switch 2. Some people are going to keep their Switches. It's a big thing trading, especially if you have two systems. Some people had two Game Boys or two DSs back in the day, and if you had a game, you could trade between Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and Diamond and Pearl or Platinum and things like that. So if you got Scarlet and Violet and things like that, you want to trade your team over, or just if you end up getting both versions of the Gen 10 games, which a lot of people do, and you can trade and do things like that between yourself, even if you're not doing it with friends or family. Now for this last game, which is really interesting, like we've seen throughout this whole thing, Pokemon has expanded. They've had Legends as their little spin-off game. We have Detective Pikachu, Mystery Dungeon, all these things. So now we have a codename Pokemon Synapse. So this would be a new multiplayer Pokemon game. It says in collaboration between ILCA and Game Freak, but it's been described as a Splatoon-like, not an MMO. So who knows what that is actually going to be? I mean, Splatoon-like, we've seen, Foam Stars and stuff like that. As far as Pokemon goes, I mean, I'm surprised they're not doing another Pokken tournament. I heard that game was really successful. Of course, it was on the Wii U, so that was, not their best-selling system. But I think they should have went that route. Especially with how fighting games are the last few years. We got Dragon Ball Fighter Z, you got the new Budokai that just came out, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Tekken, all this kind of stuff. So I don't know why they wouldn't go that way, but it is what it is. I'm interested to see what that would be like, because if it's a Splatoon, like Splatoon is based on like the paint and the different colors and all that, how they would do that with Pokemon, I'm not sure, but hey, at least they got something new that they're working on. And that's pretty much all the gaming related leaks. Now we ain't getting into Typhlosion, his freak offs, and the petite teen Latina meets eager trainer or whatever weird whatever they got going on and all that. So we ain't gonna talk about that. But as far as the leaks and stuff go, that does it. Y'all let me know in the comment section below, what are you most interested in? How do you feel about this? Of course, they have some of the older source code for our Gen 3 concept art and all that kind of stuff that I couldn't show in this video. But again, if y'all check out Central Leaks, you could check out all the information and all that. I wasn't trying to get copyrighted and all that for putting stuff on here, or copyright strict and all that. Nintendo goes kind of crazy with that. So again, let me know in the comment section below what y'all feel about it. Leave a like on this video and subscribe if you have not already, and I'll catch you on the next one.